if you want to make sure that you are leaving enough of a tip for your waiter or waitress after they have provided you service at your favorite restaurant, you need to watch this video. Hey guys, in today's lesson, we are doing sales tax and tip. And so I know we all like to eat food. Many of you probably have your favorite restaurant. I want you to imagine that you are at your favorite restaurant and the waiter or waitress is giving you incredible service. They're filling your drink up every time you need some. They're asking you if you need extra condiments, whatever. At the end of that dining experience, that waiter or waitress, they deserve a tip. A tip is the money that you are going to pay them for serving you really well. And so in today's lesson, that is what we're talking about. We're being able to calculate the sales tax and the tip. Hey, you want to be a person who tips well. So in today's lesson, you're going to know and learn how to tip. All right. And so by the end, you will be able to calculate and compute what the new price is after the tip and sales tax. All right. So the big question is, how do I find the sales tax and the tip? All right. What you're going to find is this is the exact same slide that we use for calculating discounts. All right. And so the process is exactly the same when you want to calculate sales tax and tips. So we're still going to set up a proportion using our same letters. P over B equals R over 100. Pretty much whenever you are doing or solving a problem that involves a percent, you will always be able to write or set up a proportion. Okay, and so I want to remind you that the P is percentage. Okay, another word that I want you to think about in terms of percentage is the part. Okay, you may hear me refer to it as the percentage or the part of the amount that will be either discounted or sales tax, but P stands for percentage. The B stands for base. Another word that I want you to think about when you hear base, think about the price at the beginning or the price before. Okay, so beginning, you can think before, base, you can think before or beginning. Okay, either one of those are just ways to help you remember where to put what number. Okay, and then lastly for R stands for rate, and the rate is always the number with the percent. Again, if you remember, percent means per 100, or it means that out of 100. So the percent sign is always going to be the number that has the percent will always be the number that goes over the 100. So the R. Okay. So again, these are just some tips to help you know where to put certain things in your proportion. All right. And so once we have our proportion set up, in order to solve proportions, we're going to cross multiply and divide, and that is going to give us the missing piece of our proportion. And then at the end of that, because we are sales tax and tips are being added to the end of added to our original price, we are going to add those things. Okay, and so just like previous lesson when we were doing markups, that was added to the original price. The same thing with sales tax and tips is going to be added, right? Which is different than what we did with discounts. So these are our steps. The thing about all of these word problems or different scenarios that you're going to see in the problems, they are all different. So you have to pay really close attention to what the problem is asking you, right? Does it give you a discount? Does it give you the sales tax? Is it asking for a tip? So you really got to pay attention to those key words to know whether or not, okay, once I solve for the missing piece, do I add it or do I subtract it? I wanted to give you this chart because this is going to really help you organize the information and to know what to do when. So you're going to add it to the price or to the total when you are dealing with a markup. So when you have a markup, you're going to figure out the percentage and you're going to add it to the original price. You do the same thing. You add it when you have sales tax. Again, that's going to be added to the original price. Also with tips. Those are also, again, those things are being added to the original price. And then lastly, I'm going to give you this word, and sometimes you may see this, but this is commission, okay? Commissions is what happens when, say, for instance, a person is selling a car, right? Commission is the price that they get for selling a person a car. So commissions are also things that are added to the original price, okay? So these are all things, once you find, if your problem is saying it's a markup, sales tax, tips, these are going to be added to the original price. On the other hand, these things are going to be subtracting it from the total, right? So when you have a markdown, okay, if the price is marked down, then the original price we're subtracting. Same thing with a discount, right? So markdowns and discounts are similar. The same thing if you have a coupon, right? That is also a time where it's going to be subtracted. Another one I'll just add, again, you may see this. These are just kind of some keywords. If it says you have this % off, right? These all indicate that you are subtracting from the original price. All right. Okay. Now, let's look at example number 1. You go out to eat, the food bill before tax is $40. The sales tax is 7.6. The tip is 13%. Now, whenever there's a percent, we always are going to set up this proportion. So you can start by putting line equals line over 100, right? And then, right, we're going to figure out where each piece goes in our proportion, okay? Well, I like to start with the percents, okay? This time we have 2%. You have the sales tax and the tip, okay? And so what we could do is we could do each percent individually, okay? But I know I know you like me saving you steps, right? So I'm going to save you a step. Instead of doing 2 different proportions, what we're going to do is we're just going to put the 2% together, okay? So we're going to take the 13% and we're going to take the 7.6%. Because both of these, I have to add it to the original price, I can just go ahead and add these 2 together. Okay, so 13 plus 7.6, that is going to give me 20.6%. So what I'm going to put as my R, which is my rate, is going to be 20.6. Okay, because that is the percent of them added. Then the $40, that is the bill before, all right? That is my B, my base, okay? And then the percentage or the part of it that is going to be my taxes and tips, I'm going to figure that out with an X. So once I have this proportion set up, I'm going to cross multiply 40 times 20.6. Then I'm going to divide that by 100, and that is going to give me the total of the sales tax and the tip. Okay, so enter your calculator, times 20.6, and then we get 824, and then we're gonna divide by 100, and that gives me 8.24. Again, remember this is money, so it's $8.24. And so this right here is the amount of the sales tax and the tip, okay? So this is how much we're paying for sales tax and tip. And so then I'm going to take this and then I'm going to add it to my original price. So I'm going to take the $40 plus the $8.24, And then that ends up giving me $48.24 as the amount after the sales tax and the tip. All right. I want you to pause the video and I want you to try to do example number 2 on your own. And then after you have done that, you can check your work by looking at the next one. All right, at a restaurant, you ordered a meal and a drink that cost $14. You leave a 20% tip, and the sales tax is 6%. What is the total cost of the meal? Okay, so again, anytime I see a question that has a percent sign, I can always set up this proportion, and that's what we're gonna do. So we got line equals line over 100. Now I just gotta take my information and plug it into my proportion. So I got 2%, I got the tip and the sales tax. And in the sales tax and tip, both of those are being added to the original cost. So I can go ahead and add those two together. So 20 plus 6, right? I'm adding my percent, and so that's going to give me 26% as my rate, as my R. So I got 26%. And then it said the meal and the drink cost $14. And so that is the price before, or the beginning, or the original price. And so I got to figure out, okay, what is that percentage going to be? Okay, so to solve a proportion, I'm going to cross multiply and divide. So 14 times 26. So 14 times 26. Then I'm going to divide that by 100, and that is going to give me my X. So 14 times 26. That gives me 364. Divide that by 100. And so that gives me 3.64, which is $3.64. And again, this price right here is the sales tax and the tip together, right? Because we added those together. So we get both the sales tax and the tip. Now, in order to figure out the total cost, right, I'm looking for the total. I have to add this to my original cost. So I got $14 plus the $3.64. And when I do that, I'm going to get $17.64 as my total. All right. Hey, in this example right here, this is a bit of a challenge, okay? Because this time you have a beverage and a drink and the prices are separate, okay? So make sure, in order to get that original cost, right, you got to make sure you account for both the drink and the meal. So at Fellini's, shout out to Miss Clock. If you haven't been to Fellini's, incredible gourmet pizza, tell them Mr. Redmond sent you, okay? At Fellini's, you order a lunch that costs $6.50. So the lunch is $6.50, and then the beverage is $1.50. So now I gotta, let's finish reading the question. You leave a 20% tip, and the sales tax is 7%. What is the total cost? What is the total cost? Again, in this one, right, I have my lunch and my beverage that are separate. So I have to make sure that I account for both of them, okay? So $6.50 is the lunch. The beverage is $1.50. So I'm going to add those, and when I do, I get $8. I get $8 as and that is the price, the original price before the sales tax and the tip. So I'm going to set up my proportion, which I should have did that first, but my percentage, okay, my rate. I have 7% sales tax. I got a 20% tip. So I'm gonna, in order to find that rate, I have to add those, right? The 20 plus the 7, okay, and that's gonna give me 27%. So that, again, those two numbers, they both have the percent sign. That is gonna be over the 100. So we got 27 over 100. And the original price, again, this B, the price before the sales tax and the tip, it is $8. And again, it's $8 because I had to put the drink and the lunch together. So that's where the $8 came from. And so now I'm looking for what is the percentage of that. Okay, what is 27%? So I do 8 times 27, then I divide it by 100. And that is going to give me X. That's going to give me my percentage. So we do 8 times 27, then we divide it by 100, and that is $2.16. Again, this is the price of the sales tax and the tip. Okay. So in order to figure out my total, I have to add the sales tax and the tip to the original cost. Original cost was $8 plus the $2.16, and that is going to give me $10.16 as my total after the sales tax and the tip. All right, we got one final example. Madden 2K24 is $52. It is advertised for 20% off. If sales tax is 6%, how much will the video game cost? Again, what I want you to notice is this problem is different than the previous two. Guys, in this unit, every problem is going to be different, right? In this case, we have 20% off and we have sales tax. And so if you remember back to our chart from the beginning, when you have percent off, that is a discount and we have to subtract that. But then when you have sales tax, you have to add that. So in this problem, we're going to be subtracting it and adding it to our cost to figure out the final cost. So again, you really have to pay close attention to what the problem is saying. Is it a discount? Is it sales tax? Do you add it? Do you subtract it? So that is key. All right, so first we're going to start with figuring out the percent off. All right, so what is our discount going to be? So set that up. $52 is the cost before the discount. The discount is $20. This is my X. I'm going to cross multiply 52 times 20 divided by 100. Okay, that is going to give us the cost of the discount. 52 times 20 divided by 100 is going to give us 10.4, which is, again, because we're talking about money, 2 decimal places, $10.40. Again, and this is the price of the discount. Okay, so we got to make sure we keep that in mind. Then we also have to figure out the percentage of the sales tax. And again, the reason we could not just put those 2% together is because one was a discount and one was a sales tax. And discounts you subtract, sales tax you add. So those are separate, okay? So we got to also do it for the 6%. So we're figuring out what is the sales tax. So cross multiply. 52 times 6, then divided by 100. And that is going to give us the sales tax. So 52 times 6, that's 312. Divide by 100. That gives us $3.12. And this is This is the sales tax. Now, to figure out how much was the total of cost of the video game, I need to start with my original, which was $52, and then I'm subtracting that discount from it, which was $10.40, and then I'm going to add the sales tax, because again, sales tax is added, and that is going to give me my total. So again, I got $52 minus the $10.40 because that was the discount. That gives me $41.60, but then I'm going to add the $3.12 because that is now the sales tax. And that gives me a grand total of $44.72. And that is the cost of the Madden game after the 20% discount and the sales tax. Hey guys, so hopefully in this lesson, what you see is, again, the steps of all of the problems that we have done, from discounts to markups to markdowns to sales tax and tip. The process is the same every single time. We got to set up a proportion, and all we got to do is we just got to make sure we know what goes where. The key is making sure that you are paying attention to what is happening again, and knowing whether or not you need to add it or subtract it. So you do got to pay close attention. You got to break down these word problems, but I believe that you can do it as long as you are paying close attention and reading the problem carefully. All right. Now,